So sometimes as a payroll scientist, I get to say the most obvious things. The thing is that they're not always obvious in the moment. They're really obvious in hindsight, like after I say them. And today is one of those days. I'm going to say the most obvious thing about pricing, but it seems like it may not be obvious to many products or companies. So here we go. This is Descript. It's a video editing software. And I really like it. And I've been, experimenting with just creating videos. And so I'm going to try a high definition model. Oh man, it's asking me to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade, but I really want to finish this video. So I'll upgrade. I am on a free tier. What? $8 just to complete my video? Heck no. Oh, this is annually. So it's $35 per month. So you can see what happened there is they're really highlighting a pretty big number. $288 is a lot of money and doesn't really represent the value by which I'm trying to get from the product, which is just finishing my video or creating one video. So the obvious thing here is that people like small numbers. So if we think about loss aversion, I don't want to lose $288. That is a very large number to lose. I'd rather lose a smaller number, something like $35. That seems a little bit more reasonable. So not only have we mismatched the value and the time frame of what I'm trying to get from the app to what they're trying to sell me, but we just don't like to pay a lot of money to something. And so the core of this research comes from Hal Hirschfeld, which he did in 2019, and basically had a clever experiment where he offered people the opportunity to save $150 a month, or he said $5 a day for some. And that's the same, right? $5 a day is the same as $150. And yet, for people who were given the option to save $5 a day, 4x more opted in. Insane, right? So people like small numbers. When we're paying things, and saving, by the way, is kind of like you're paying something, you're paying it to your future self. We also found some similar of a finding, or we're interpreting it to be similar. We did an experiment with Intuit where we took over their onboarding to payroll, and it was a save when you get paid experiment, and we gave people two options. One group got $75, $50, $20. Another group got 5%, 3%, 1%. And the group that got 5%, 3%, 1% opted in at a higher rate compared to the other group. Now, there could be lots of reasons for this, but one interpretation I am making is those are just smaller numbers. So if you are thinking about saving and you want to save, but you don't really want to save a lot, those numbers are just fundamentally smaller than the $75, $50, $20. And the people who really get this, which is maybe the most not obvious thing I'm going to say, is I think we should learn from legacy media. So Wall Street Journal is nailing it. And so is most of these media outlets where, I'm so excited to watch this 13-second video, but I need to pay $2 a week. Okay, sure, I'll do it. They're matching basically the value that the article is giving me with my willingness to pay. And they're framing it in this way. $2 a week is $8 a month, which is close to $100 a year. $100 a year is actually a lot. And so if I'm figuring out that I'm paying $100 a year, I may not want to do that. But there's zero chance they're going to get me to opt into something that is $100 a year for this article. So they're matching my willingness to pay with the unit of payment that I'm willing to give them in the moment. And I think this is the key insight. Yes, SaaS companies want you to sign up for an annual plan. Yes, probably a smaller percentage do, and then they're locked in and they forget to cancel. But if you want a larger percentage to be exposed to your product, you want to give them the unit of payment that matches their willingness to pay for your product in the moment. So this would be kind of the main advice. And I think it is pretty obvious as people like small numbers. We don't like large numbers. We can call it the pain of paying. We can call it loss aversion, but fundamentally we just don't want to lose money. So if you want some more of these obvious, non-obvious pricing insights, let me know. Kristen@irrationallabs.com.